In Proverbs 3, verse 23 and 26, the word says, "Then you will go on your way in safety, and your foot will not stumble. For the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being snared."
Mayor on the road to Las Vegas. I'm Michelle Fisher. Jory Rand is off. Drivers frustrated, trapped in the gridlock for the Interstate 15 closure, running out of gas and water. It has been almost 2 days since this closure began, and so far there's still no timetable for when the road will reopen.
Okay, you guys, so here is where I had the 500, 100-year-old T-post up against the fence at my house in the city. I am working this morning very hard to get these up on the truck so that we can get these to the 5 acres. I'm almost done with this project, and we will be pulling off, headed on the road in one more day. And I am so excited to get these to the other side. Stay with us.
So this is what the truck looked like when I got all of the T-posts packed on to the back, along with some other things going to Mama's.
Never see you again, man. If I do, I won't even remember you. Out of Memphis.
Grab the Mix 96 fasten your earpods and turn.
So Mama flew her baby brother out, my Uncle Eddie, to come and help me drive all the way from my house to Mama's house in Vegas. We saw a big dust cloud in the distance, and my uncle, who is a preacher, thought that this was a sign from God, so he began to preach.
Facility, man. They used to call Sherman and call me the anointed one. I was preaching so hard, and them.
Little did we know that dust cloud that we saw was actually an explosion from a vehicle that had turned over with lithium-ion batteries on it, and the road was shut down for a very long time. The detour took us through Yosemite. We got all the way to the top where we were to transition to the connecting road, and we were turned around. We were so sad, you guys, but the scenery was nice. Apparently, to get through Yosemite, you need to make an appointment ahead of time and gain passes, and we had no idea. We had never driven this route before. I mean, it was a very scenic route, and we were able to enjoy the beauty that God has placed on this planet for us to enjoy. I cannot tell a lie. It was actually a bit scary to drive this way because we were driving along mountainsides and ridges that were very high up in the air. I mean, the elevation was ridiculous. My ears were popping. And it took us hours to get up this way, and we were just so discouraged by the fact that we were actually told to turn around, make a U-turn, and go all the way back to where we had come from when they closed off the road. I mean, this trip took days, you guys. I think it took us about 2 days to finally get there. I think if we went this way on a vacation, like a family trip or something like that, it wouldn't be so bad. But right now, this is not the purpose of this trip. We're just trying to get 500 100-year-old T-post to our land on the other side. My uncle finally got us out of the mountains and back onto the freeway. We were excited about that one. We got to see a windmill farm, enjoy the beautiful mountains, and we even got to see an airplane graveyard. That was interesting. Everybody has that one drunk uncle in their family, and I'm actually riding in the truck with mine. My uncle loves to drink, and Mama gave me fair warning to watch out for what he would do if he got his hands on a bottle. We had to make plenty of stops, one because my legs kept cramping, and two because Uncle had to make plenty of restroom stops, and here he is at a rest stop, coming out of the restroom, my loving uncle. Hey, Unc. Oh no, we finally hit the traffic where it's really backed up, getting into Las Vegas. There was no way out, so we were in for the long ride, and we just creeped and creeped behind all of the trucks and the cars, and everybody was so frustrated. I mean, it really looked like the apocalypse out here. People were running out of fuel. Gas stations didn't even have bottled water. There were so many people that were thirsty. It was a very, very hot August night. It was horrible. Not only did the gas stations run out of water, they were not able to allow us to use the facilities because there was no water to even flush the toilet, and they were running out of fuel because there were so many cars on the road headed in this direction. Even though the traffic was backed up, we felt like we were able to make a little headway. And just as we got to a point to where we felt like we would be able to continue on, we were actually detoured and turned around. This was the second detour of this trip. The first one was when we were turned around at Yosemite, and now we're being turned around off of the 15 to detour to somewhere else. This time the detour was quite scary because it was dark outside, and the California back roads offer no light. We found the 40 though, and we were able to detour over to a different highway. But when we got there, it also was backed up from all of the vehicles that detoured. But it finally opened up, we stuck with it, and we're back on the road. Back on the road with these beautiful mountain views. What a blessing. When I saw the Joshua tree, I knew that we were finally going to be all right. Those of us who are believers know what the Joshua tree represents. After about 2 days, the road was finally wide open. Of course, just one more obstacle before we could continue along our way, but it wasn't too long before the train made its pass and allowed us to continue on our journey. At least the train provided us with a little bit of sightseeing, considering how much graffiti was on the train itself. We passed through a city called Colton, which I think is in Nevada. I'm not sure. But whatever this is, if you guys know, put it in the comments. And we're here. Look at God. We're finally here, and Mama can finally rest. And we'll just be unloading this truck, getting these 500 T-posts off, getting all the plants to Mama. And yeah, like, share, subscribe.